Wakelife is proudly brought to you by Wayne Ritchie's Skiers Edge, Ronix, Hyperlight, Indy Towers and Accessories, MB Boats, Liquid Indy Clothing, and Trojan Wake Ski Snow.
Yeah, keep it right there. Yeah, keep it right there. Yeah, keep it right there.
Hey, welcome to Wakelife, Australia's 100% dedicated wakeboarding show, brought to you by Wayne Ritchie's.
Now we've got a massive week of wakeboarding ahead, including an interview with Aussie's own Josh Robinson.
Oh, I'm going to catch up with that little carny about In Transit. Yeah, that's going to be a good interview for a little behind the scenes look.
He is one of Aussie's greatest DVD producers, and we're pretty stoked about the arrival of his up-and-coming video. Now before that happens, we are heading to the US to catch up with Brenton Priestley and Scotty Boobies Broom.
My name is Scotty Broom, and I'm 25 and I'm a wakeboarder from Australia, but I now live on Clear Lake in Orlando, Florida, residing at the Blue Circle here on beautiful Lauderdale Court. Clear Lake has such a good energy about it as a lake that always keeps me coming back. The first time I lived here was '06, and then we moved away for a year in '07, and I've been here every year since. And it has such a good feeling about it because obviously it's a great lake to ride on, it's nice and big, there's plenty of places to get out of the wind, but it's everything beyond the lake that's so good with all these little canals and all these streets. There's so many wakeboarders and so many friends that all live just all around here. So it just makes it so ideal to sort of chill and have people to be motivated and just, you know, keeping a good environment to live with. It has changed so much in the years that I've been here, the community of riders. There's always been sort of the same guys that have had houses here for years, like Eric Ruck, Shane Bonifay, Daniel Watkins, Nick Weinecker. Colin Harrington was sort of always living here for a lot of years and now has his own place as well. There's been other years with Keith Lidberg living around here. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million people, but Nicola Butler is living here these days. Jimmy LaRich across the road, the list goes on and on and on. So there's just that many top level wakeboarders that all seem to come and keep coming back to Clear Lake and now the Blue Circle. One year, I think it was '08 when I lived here, there was like 15 or 16 like full-time professional wakeboarders living on the lake. So that meant on any one day, like days when you'd expect no one to be there, like a Monday morning, there'd be a 15 or 16 people trying to get out for the early morning shred or photo shoot. And that sometimes definitely got a little bit nervy. But these days, we've all been living here for such a long time and we know each other so well that we just share the lines and we all ride with each other and it all works out sweet. Day-to-day life in Clear Lake. I would say Clear Lake, because it's so flat, everybody's pretty outdoorsy. So morning activities, you usually walk out on your driveway and you see, you know, the Weinekers riding up the street on their bikes, or the Watkinses, or one of us going out for a skate or cruise around because it's nice and flat. So it kind of reminds me of like a beachside suburb in that way, that everybody's outdoors and just doing stuff like that. Then by mid-morning, if we haven't gone out for an early morning shoot, then we'll usually go out for a shred on the lake at any number of boats that we've got out here. We've got Shane's X-Star over there that we've been using a bunch. We've got a 24 VE Tiger that we've been using a bunch lately as well, and Jim Millirich has got his boat across the road, so there's plenty of boats and plenty of different wakes for us to shred behind, so that's been really, really cool. Then, you know, we usually kind of round up the end of the day with sort of someone have a bit of a barbie or a bit of a chill out, sort of get together, and maybe head downtown after that. We don't live very far. Just over here at the end of this canal, in the very background is the buildings. That's downtown. Takes about 8 minutes to drive here on that noisy road just over there. So that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, but we love it.
Now, we're back in Australia, and I managed to catch up with my brother, Brenton. Before we get into what's going on behind us, tell us, how was it riding with Scotty on Clear Lake and everyone else?
It was a sick fun. It was the funnest year I've had yet. I actually, first time I've done the whole 6 months, like the whole summer in America, and it was sick. It's really fun over there. It's where I want to be. It's what I want to be doing every day, so it's a perfect place for me to be. And Clear Lake's amazing. It's the sickest place you could live on, really. An epic lake, really big, good buttery lines, and it's a sick place.
Okay, now aside from it being very sick and buttery and awesome and amazing, tell us, what did it do for your riding and who did you hang out with?
It's a house of Aussies where I'm at. It's Mitch Langfield's house, so it's Mitch, myself, and Scotty Broom, as we said before, and it's the sickest little pad. I've got to stop saying sick.
Now, myself personally, I've known you since you're about 9 or 8 years old or something,
Yep.
and I've seen you change progressively over the years. But when you came back from America, you have some serious, well, effing style, really, basically, and you've done some amazing things on a wakeboard now. Who influenced this? Where did it all come from? What happened?
I can't really say it's like ever come like an influence. I've always looked up to crew like Chris O'Shea. I've known him my whole life. People like my brother too, back in the day, wakeboarded. Even yourself, Bow, what you ride from back in the day. And I think just crew like that and having older people around me just taught me to just be myself and do my own thing, and that's what I'm doing. Like, I don't look up to people, as they say. I just like to wakeboard, and I think that's what shows on my board.
Now, Brenton, you've got a pretty established name in the industry as a free rider. Now, we also know that you're a rail rider of the year 2010. That's a pretty impressive gig to have. Have you spent some considerable time on rails aiming at this particular goal, or did it just happen?
I think it's more the year that I actually won Rail Rider of the Year was the year I wanted it most, because the 2 years beforehand I'd actually been nominated, and to sit there with fingers crossed thinking you're going to win the award and just having someone else win it was kind of bumming. So for me, rails are just super fun, and I guess I just hit them since the age of 13, flat out.
Let's be honest, it's pretty much because you never had a boat.
Pretty much. Never had a boat, never had nothing, just cut laps at the cable, and there's never a fan of air trick, so I just hit rails.
Now, you're spending a lot of time in Melbourne at what is essentially your home lake. Tell the viewers at home what...
Gardens.
Where does Caribbean Gardens come into it? How does it evolve? And where are you now with Caribbean Gardens?
It's funny you ask that, because like probably when I was 12 years old, we started coming here back in the day. My dad got introduced to Dave Spooner, one of the Spooner family's sons, and I guess just since then, like, we met, we brought the boat down here one day just to test it, and then ever since then we never left, and we just kept coming down here after school, every weekend flat out. You came and rode with us, and then now we just brought other crew down, and it's literally just turned into one of the coolest wake parks that we have in Australia. So,
well, you're actually working here now. You're pretty much running this joint, and you and Chris O'Shea actually must give him props for it as well. But I mean, you've put a lot of effort into this. Tell us and the viewers, what's going on. I mean, what's happening down here, and what are you setting out to achieve?
Well, me and Chris both spend half the year, as I said before, like in America, and I've lived on the Gold Coast now for 5 years, and it's starting to flood. Well, it has flooded there now, so I just thought myself, like, I'd move down to Melbourne and help Craig with the park, and we just wanted to make it the sickest place in one of the sickest places in Australia, and it's the only cable park in Victoria, so why not make it the coolest place here? So.
Now don't go away, because after the break, KB here is going to be interviewing Josh Robinson.
I'd better go get ready. I think, can we take the boat in? I've got to go talk to this kid.
Yeah, keep it right there.